I've got a little question from Wendy. She sent in a picture of her damp, which she said, what do I do about this? Is this rising damp? What's going on here? I think she's just had a bit of building work done. She's had it decorated and it's all blistering off. You can see the new plaster work there. It's all coming away. So there's a lot of different things going on here. If we look up here, this mark here, this shadow, that's the join. The reason I know that is if we look at this next picture, this is some work that Wendy had done. Builder came in, they didn't want this throughway between the lounge and the dining room or whatever, the kitchen, I don't know. They had this bit of stud wall done, bit of infill, nothing wrong with that. They're quite brutal, those notches at the bottom of the stud wall, aren't they? They just leave about half the stud there. If I'd been doing that, I probably would have just tried to drill through and maybe just put those studs in one go with a bit of pipe in them. But I understand why they've done it. They've done it so that they get the pipe out of the way of any screws, which is always a good thing. Of course, you can do that with plastic pipe, but then you've got to join, and a lot of people don't like that. So, okay, let's just ignore the fact the stud works like that. But I would actually just fill that bit in, that notch, with a bit of that offcut of timber, put a bit of glue in there, because if there was any impact on that wall, and it was going to bend, the bit of infill of timber would stop it bending, so it would just beef it up. But anyway, he's put this OSB in there because obviously he's going to hang a radiator. Pipework's buried in the wall, but you can see here it's chased in the wall where it comes down the wall there. He's just obviously plastered over that bit of wall there. You can't see, I think he's put some kind of sleeving. Yes, he's definitely put some kind of sleeving or tape on that pipework to protect it from the base coat of plaster, which may be a sand and cement render, maybe plaster. But you can see this socket which straddles the join, and that's why I knew on this previous picture that crack all the way up the wall, that faint line you can see, is actually where the stud wall joins the plaster. Now, it may be that he put some scrim in there. Even that won't stop it cracking. You know, a bit of scrim is not that strong an item. It's always a good idea to do it, but it doesn't necessarily stop that kind of cracking where you've got differential surfaces, you know. The way to do it, I guess, would have just been to plaster all the way through, hack off that bit of plaster, put your plasterboard all the way through to straddle the gap. But again, that's not why Wendy's written in, is it? She's written in because she's got this damp problem. So next thing I ask her is, can I see the outside? Can I see what's going on the outside? Because obviously this damp is only on the brickwork. It's not on the bit of plasterboard there. It hasn't actually migrated very far across there. This is the outside of the house, and it's a pity she didn't give us some pictures in the garden, but that's not a bad picture. The reason I would have liked to have seen a bit lower down behind that wall is just to see the air bricks and what's happened to the air bricks, because you can see there's all this discoloration around here. I'm guessing this is just damp. This is just moisture. And okay, it may have rained recently and just blown in there and around there. But when we look at these, here's the curtains inside. Here's the wall that she's had filled in. So we know that there's a little bit of space there because those pipes are running down the wall there. And then the wall starts and we can see some damp on the wall there. So where's that damp coming from? Is that damp coming up from the ground? Is that damp coming from an overflowing gutter on that detail there? Probably not. It's probably all right there. It's a bit of a strange detail anyway, but I'm guessing that gutter is catching because we've got no real staining there. So it's just this mystery bit here. There's these mystery bits here, and you can see that where the render goes round the bay, this very often happens when the render goes round the bay, there's something which might be a crack there. And it looks, I don't know whether this is true or not, but it looks like somebody might have even tried to put a bit of external damp proofing, that sort of clear liquid stuff you get that you can paint on, plastic coating type stuff. And it could be that they tried to stop some damp previously in that particular area. So is there a problem with the damp? Is there a blocked air brick? Is there damp coming under the floor that we don't know about? The other possibility that I think really needs to be addressed is whether this is a plumbing leak or not. Is this coming from the new pipework that's been put in there? Now, on the face of it, I'd say not, because it looks all right, doesn't it? Soldered joints, it's going in there, but you can see there's elbows there, there's elbows there. And if there were a tiny leak on either of those pipes on those elbows there, it would be enough to cause that pattern of damp. The pattern of damp is interesting because it does seem to come. It's a pity she didn't take the curtain away and show us a picture of the whole corner. It'd just be nice to just pull that curtain back, wouldn't it, and just see that whole corner and see how far that damp stretched around the corner of the wall. So all I'm saying, Wendy, is it's inconclusive, but I would get that pipework tested. If it's a pressurised system, then you can just put it up to 3 bar and then see if there's any kind of drop in pressure. But if it's an open vented system and you've got a header tank in the loft, then the thing to do there is to tie up the ball valve or shut off the ball valve there and just watch it over several days. What I normally do is just get a stick, put it in the water. This is when the system's cold, by the way. I always do it when the system's cold because the water level will rise in that tank. On a cold morning, stick the stick into the tank, mark out where the water level is, then just leave the stick in the loft there. A few days, couple of weeks later, go up there when the system's cold, put the dipstick back in and see if you've lost any water, see if there's anything coming out there. The other way of doing it is to put some kind of dye into the system, some kind of vegetable dye, just chuck it into the system, or something smelly. That's my favourite trick. And then just have a little sniff around at that damp patch and see if it's changed to a lovely fragrant perfume that you've put in there or something like that, even a bit of disinfectant. If you've got any kind of inhibitor in the system, then that smells in itself, and it's a very distinctive smell, so you can often just have a little sniff, see what you can find. But that's all I can offer you, really, is just a little bit more investigation into why that damp is appearing and whether that damp is going all the way up the wall, because I don't know. It does seem to be a change of colour there, doesn't it? And that would be quite incredible if it was going all that way. But anyway, that's what I can offer you, and hopefully you'll let us know what you found. I'm Roger Bisbee. If you've got a question, send it in. If it's a damp question, we've had a lot of those lately, but it might be something else. So whatever it is, send it in and we'll try to help you. We have the wisdom of crowds. We have a lot of keen viewers there waiting to comment on these videos. So somebody out there may be able to cast a little bit of light on the problem.